Right guys, you're very welcome back to the channel. I had a client this morning and he seen me taking this stuff and it sparked a conversation. He was like, that is an awful random concoction you have going on there. Why are you taking that? And it got me thinking. I was like, yeah, this probably does look pretty daft from the outside looking in. This is essentially what I'm taking before I train. I'm about to go train now. I'll put the clips up of the session on the side while I'm talking just to keep it a little bit more engaging. And I wanted to talk a little bit about pre-workout, like this stuff, but as well as the stuff I take, sort of like the mentality, the mindset switch, the mentality I have to get into before I train so I can get a productive session in. But we'll talk about this stuff first. So before I train, I'm in between clients. Like I have like an hour and 10 minutes before my next client comes in. So really I shouldn't be doing this. I should be just getting on with my session. So I have things here in the gym ready to go that I can have, so it can sort of give me some sort of insurance policy. Okay, you have a little bit of energy and a little bit of this stuff in your system before here, so you can go train and give yourself your best possible chance at getting a good session in. So what you're seeing here is beetroot juice, organic beetroot juice. I'm not a fan of beets. I wouldn't eat them, but I will drink this, and I actually like the dried beetroot stems you get in salads. There's a salad I get that has that, which I actually like. But beetroot juice, this is unreal for promoting blood flow. So when you're training, blood flow is obviously something you want. You want blood, and with blood comes oxygen and nutrients being delivered to your muscles. So that's why I had this an hour before I trained. Same with pineapple juice. This is just a quick carb source, fast digesting because it's a liquid. I want carbs, I want sugar in my system for the session as well. And this is the same reason why I have the rice cake, not the rice cake, the squares bar. These are so tasty, by the way. I could eat the full pack easily enough, but I usually just have one of these because 120 calories, not bad, and tastes good, and I'm getting fast sugar before my session. Water, underrated, probably the most important thing to have here before a session. If you're anyway dehydrated, your performance is going to suffer. Water also lubricates joints. I always laugh. I can always tell when clients haven't drank much water because they start squatting and their knees start cracking. And I ask them, you haven't had much water, have you? And they're looking at me like, how'd you know? The joints is a giveaway. So water lubricates our joints as well. And here then I have honey, raw organic honey. This has a lot of health benefits, and so do like a lot of this stuff has like more health benefits as well, which I like, and I'm getting fiber, micronutrients from these things as well. So the honey is a great source of micronutrients, a lot of health benefits, but as well I'm getting a little bit of sugar in my system too. And on top I get a spoonful of the honey, which I've worked out is about 5 or 6 grams. I don't weigh it all the time. I never do, to be honest. And then I get a bit of pink salt on top. So honey is for energy, salt acts like our electrolytes. It helps with muscular contractions. If you're someone who finds that they experience cramping a lot, they get a lot of muscle cramps, one of the first things I look at is how much water you're drinking and do you have much salt? And a lot of the times people don't actually have a lot of salt because they don't think about it or they think it's bad for them. Salt is not bad for you. Anything could be bad for you, it depends on the dose. But if you're doing like a few fucking twists yourself over a meal, that's not a lot of sodium. Like a lot of sodium would be getting like a takeaway, like a McDonald's or something to that extent every day. They're gonna load up the sodium, but you putting salt on your own meals is not a bad thing, it's a good thing. And I'm gonna get a better pump because of this. So the beetroot and the salt, the water, the carbs, more energy, better pump, better blood flow, and it's actually not a lot of calories. Like all this will probably come to thereabouts 300 calories, and it's helping me get a better session. And these things can all stay in the gym. We have a fridge here. I store the rest of this here. It's here ready for me. So an hour before I train, I have this stuff. What's missing here is the coffee. So I've already drank my coffee. I've had about 4 shots of coffee this morning already. I had one upon waking, and then I got a coffee next door and asked them to give me an extra shot. So shout out to Geometry. And that's sort of my pre-workout. I want caffeine, I want water, I want quick carb source, and I want something that promotes blood flow. And yeah, usually I end up getting a really nice pump, even with my calories being down and maybe being a little bit on the flatter side. I still manage to get really good pumps. So that's sort of the stuff I take. But then as well as that, I mentioned I'm PT, I'm in between clients here. So I have a client coming in soon. I was PTing 2 clients this morning. There's the mentality thing. So I left here, one of the reasons I left here to get a coffee was to leave the gym and come back. Leave the gym because I'm leaving my training, my personal trainer mindset. I want to leave that at the door. And I want to go exit the gym and come back in with the mindset of a bodybuilder, with someone who's coming in to train really hard, almost like an athlete's mindset, you could say. That mentality switch is so important for me, and I think it's important for a lot of people. I think a lot of people probably don't ever even consider this. Like some people say to me, oh, you have it so easy to stay in shape because you're in a gym all the time. After a morning of training clients, that kind of leaves you a little bit mentally drained, and it's a very different mindset to be in versus coming into the gym and training yourself. So the last thing I actually want to do when I finish a morning of clients here, the last thing I want to do is stay here and train myself. I'm not in the right mindset to do it. So what's actually very beneficial is to leave. Go get a coffee, and then I went on the treadmill for a little bit, just a light walk, watch some YouTube, like some people training on YouTube, drink my coffee, and I'm getting into the zone that way. So that mentality switch for your training is so important. Like if you want to come in and get the most out of your session, you need to make that switch from forget about everything else that's going on and whatever you're doing for that hour. It all has to disappear, and you have to really focus on your session. What did you do the last time? Okay, let's try and do better. It won't always happen, and you'll even get into this mentality and you'll still have subpar sessions. But more often than not, the more you do this, the more you get into this mindset of like channeled aggression. Let's go, let's try and get a great session. No distraction, put in your music, get in the zone. You're going to have better sessions as a result. And you might be thinking, that sounds like a bit much. Like you might be taking that over the top. Perhaps. But I also do a lot of things in the gym that a lot of other people don't do. So there might be something to say, there might be something to that, in that I get myself into the proper mindset to do the things that allow me to do the things that I do when I'm in the gym. So your mindset, as well as this stuff, your mindset coming into the gym is so important. So if you can do something that helps you get that switch, whether it's like a certain pre-workout you take, you're like, once I have this, like I'm ready to train. Whether it's putting on a certain gym outfit, you're like, once this gym outfit goes on, I'm ready to train. Tunes, music is a big one for me. Like I was doing my warm-up sets that I pulled down there, and I'm listening to Hans Zimmer, Why Do We Fall, the Dark Knight soundtrack, and that just revs me up. So don't underestimate that stuff. If you've never actually given that a go, try that out and see how do your gym sessions go as a result of you just being a little bit more focused, being a little bit more revved up for your sessions. I've done a good bit of talking now, so I'm going to carry on with the rest of my session. Let's fucking go. Right, we're 2 sets deep into this, and once I left, but 3 things I forgot to mention in regard to my pre-workout. Something I would like to have in my system before every session I do is some sort of protein, whether it be chicken, eggs, a protein shake. Usually if it's the morning time for me, I just have a protein shake. Ideally you want some protein, some amino acids in your system, in your bloodstream while you're training. It's just a good idea to have that, especially while we're cutting, if we're trying to retain muscle. I didn't do that today, which is not ideal, but also not the end of the world. The most important thing is at the end of the day, is by the end of the day you've met your protein requirements. The next 2 things I forgot to mention, which I actually did take this morning, is L-carnitine and citrulline malate. So I take L-carnitine, that helps you store fat as energy, and citrulline malate is to help me get a better pump. So that's it. I haven't left anything else out. Something I used to do when I was bulking, but now that the calories are peasant calories, I'd definitely have just a bigger meal in general and some dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is similar to beetroot juice, and also similar to pomegranate juice in that it helps promote blood flow. So they're all my pre-workout secrets. Now it's time to get back to this last set, drop the weight, hopefully get 15 reps here. Let's go. Hello again everyone. It's a few hours post that session and I'm just out getting my steps up, and it's a wonderful day, hence why the top is off, the rig is out. You love to see it. So something I want to end this video on is that the most important thing I discussed here today was the mentality when it comes to training. That is more important than the pre-workout stuff. It is almost the pre-workout mentality that you bring into your training. Because what I see a lot of the time is that we almost become prisoners to our own routine or ways of doing things. Like, let's say for instance, if someone likes using sleeves or straps for their workout or a certain pre-workout, they feel they need to have that before they train. So if they don't have those things, they're like, I'm gonna have a bad workout now. Or worse, they don't even train because they think they need that. And they're like, no, I'm not gonna train today because I forgot that shit. No way, Jose. That is not it. While these things are great to have and they can definitely add to your training, if that starts to happen, if you start to fall into that trap to where you think you need them and then you don't train because of it, now it's no longer an addition to your lifestyle or your routine. It's actually a hindrance. So don't get overly stressed or worked up if you don't have these things available to you. While they will help, absolutely, they're not a necessity. Like sometimes I haven't had anything to eat, even while on my deficit. My stomach has been empty, I've been hungry, and I thought, fuck, will I go home, eat first, or just train, get it done? I end up training, and some of those sessions end up being some of my best sessions. And then there are days where I get a good sleep, get a meal in me, have a pre-workout, and then go to the gym. And it's shite, it's diabolical. I've had a good few of those days as well. I had one Saturday where I did like, ticked all the boxes, did everything right, and it just wasn't a good session. So the most important thing I touched on there was your mentality towards training. It's up here is where you're going to unlock a new level of training and really learn to push yourself. The pre-workout stuff is great, but just don't fall victim to what I was talking about. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. We'll keep this video short enough today. I hope it was helpful. And if you're enjoying the content, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. And if anyone needs help with coaching, whether you're close to me, I'm in Ireland, I'm in Galway. If you're close and you want to book in a session, feel free to reach out to me. Just email me, my link will be below. Or if you're someone who's further away from me and you want to level up your game and you need assistance, then please feel free to email me as well, and I can get you signed up as an online client. And with the way I work, I don't actually work with too many online clients because I call people and talk to them on the phone directly. I don't do the thing where I expect you to just like text me a check-in, email me a check-in, and there'll be no conversation from us. I'm a little bit more hands-on than that. So if that's something of interest to you, we can actually schedule a free consultation call. All right, guys, it's a lovely day. As always, train hard.